Good morning, Armchair Generals. My name is Tom, and I'll be continuing my Japanese campaign in Hearts of Iron 3 using the Black Ice modification version 10.43. Um, where we left off from the previous episode, we do pretty good in northern China overall. We've already taken out three of the six Chinese countries that we've been at war with here. Puppeted Zibi Sanma, conquered Communist China, Shaanxi, um, given a lot of that territory over to my puppet ally Menjiang. We've moved in pretty good to the I would say probably almost halfway, a good third of the way through northern China, and we've surrounded a large area of Chinese troops, hoping to kill and or capture a good number of them. So far, about 500,000 or so troops that we've captured in various cauldrons. We've cut off from supply here and there. We've joined up with Shanghai, and we're pushing up from Fuzhou and down from Shanghai to create another little mini cauldron here and join these two areas so we can kind of run along the coastline here. We've landed in Shantou area and are just holding it for right now, waiting for reinforcements to come in to help, hopefully, help expand that area a little bit, perhaps. We also have the far southern island and peninsula of China taken here with some of our Marines, and we'll be also waiting for reinforcements so we can push a little bit further and get into the Gungsi Creek area and start taking their victory point locations. I do have my units moving upward. Yeah, want to make sure that they're continuing their operations. And this was the last amphibious invasion that I had planned for my Marines in this whole entire campaign. They've definitely proved their worth, I feel, overall. They're fairly strong troops. They've actually gotten a pretty good amount of experience as well with their landings and overall offensive operations that they've taken. They've been definitely quite a wonder to behold for the Japanese. Um, so realistically, at this point, we're doing pretty well. We've kind of ebb and flowed in our IC based upon the historical units that we got coming in from time to time. We are seeing our IC take some dips here. We should be seeing it go back up in the matter of a month or two. I think we were at a high water around 190 IC total that was available to us. Our officer ratio is beginning to recover from its lows, but I don't know if we'll see its high water mark of 97% anytime soon here. We are also, just to kind of go through all the various tabs to kind of get everybody back up to speed, our trades are doing very well. Everything is green across the board. Um, I may want to, actually, I do want to consider now killing some of my metal trades because we're going up by 81 a day, and we're almost at the max 99,999. So I think we'll go ahead and stop a few of these. Actually, we only have two metal trades remaining. 50 for $6. So that'll increase our money, and that will leave us going up by 31. Let's just go ahead and drop this 34 trade for $4. We'll drop a couple points in metal, and that actually will kind of go up a bit once our IC goes back up to 190. But I think that's fine. We are gaining metal as we're conquering the Chinese territories that have these kind of resources. So I think we're good in that regards. Rares, I think I'll just keep going with the trades I have at this point in time. I want to get my surplus up to at least 50,000 and continue going upwards from there. Crude oil, there's really not much I could do about that. I could actually begin selling some crude oil, I feel, but we've got well, no, yeah, I could sell some crude oil. We're gaining quite a bit from our puppets here. I kind of wonder though. I'm thinking that plus 508 from puppets, that's probably going to stop pretty soon. In my experience, anytime I see that puppets are giving me uh, resources, it's just for a very brief period of time, and that's it. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about the crude oil. Supplies are about ready to reach 50,000, so I think I'm going to be knocking the supply needs down a bit here to where it's being requested. I definitely need to boost my reinforcements up a bit so we can get our men to where they need to be. Builds, we'll be having quite a few units coming in this summer. The We'll have the final armor unit build that'll be coming out to help staff up one of my armor divisions that I have in China. I think I have one or two others I would still need to get a full strength armor unit build. But we'll wait on that. We're not really too concerned at this point here. China's going to be falling, and this will be a Tom Mantek guarantee. China and its allies will be falling by the end of 1938. We won't be fighting in China, at least this part of China here, after this year. I do want to press forward with my builds and also get some industry built up as well because I really want to, hopefully by fall, start building Soryu and its sister carrier ships. I've seen the Americans already launched a couple big name carriers, Enterprise among them. So I need to follow suit and get my naval forces arrayed and built out as well too. But overall, we're doing very well, I would say, here in our resources and overall ICs, as long as we can get these spawn penalties removed. Tech overall, again, leaders, we're gaining over almost 115 a day. I don't know how many we're actually losing per day in combat, but apparently it's not that much because we've actually increased our officers percent ratio, even though we've been getting new units quite regularly here. New units pull away from our officer pool. So I think I'll be leaving this alone as is until I can get up to about 90%, and then I can start making some adjustments. Um, we're just gaining a little bit of DI, just trickling that in so I have enough influence for any trades I need to do or any other sort of decisions that may require that diplomatic influence. Spies were, I don't know where we are. Once it hits zero, I don't know how far down into negatives it may go. Um, or I say negatives, but how far down to where there's no spies anywhere. I mean, I could look. Currently, I do have spies in only a couple of locations, intelligence where I need to go. I have spies in a couple locations. For example, here in my own country. Actually, yes, we can see how many spies. We have 18. Okay, so they're just not free spies. I have 18 active spies abroad, 10 of them domestic in our own country. We've caught 4 enemy spies. Oh, nice. We do have spies in Germany. 6 active spies in Germany. So a third of my active spies are here, where we're pulling. Since Germany's not going to share any of their tech with us, we're going to try to steal whatever we can from them. Hopefully, it's stuff that's pretty handy for us. Allies, I have spies in the UK, though actually none are active at this point in time. So whatever counter espionage the UK has been doing has been pretty effective. But we've stolen a couple items of research from them, quite a few actually. That's been very helpful. Soviet Union, 3 spies are active. We're doing the same thing, trying to get tech, but we're also looking toward the future. We want to help out our future partner, Germany, in disrupting the Russian national unity. The lower the unity goes for Russia, the easier it will be for Germany to capture it and take care of it. And then lastly, we do have some spies sent to America, and I have 9 active. Oh, that's very nice. And again, we're just doing the tech espionage there. So 4 major superpowers that I have spies in that we're hoping to get some tech from time to time, and it seems to be working pretty well otherwise. Um, Research-wise, we're churning along pretty well. I'm going to be shifting focus pretty soon from our original 1936 and 37, and now early 1938 tech, where I'm focusing on nation categories, land force categories, and doctrines. Actually, the deep battle? No, grand battle plan doctrine. I need to refocus my research later this year here, probably pretty soon actually, more into the more urgent categories to make sure I'm keeping on top of those. That's like these carrier aircraft prototypes. I need to be researching that. The infantry and artillery fields that help provide a buffer, if you will, against the strategic effect that happens if you lose your superpower status by not researching uh, these 2 areas very, very well. submarines, carriers, but also just overall naval forces. Period. Uh, I need to be getting into transport ship technology so I can get landing craft flotillas and also, assault ship flotillas. I'm using at this point in time. Um, my Marines are utilizing well, one assault ship flotilla, but for the most part, these auxiliary vessels, which are fine for what they are. The only problem is they're fairly weak and they don't carry a lot. It requires three of these long-range auxiliary vessels to carry as many Marines as one assault ship flotilla, and the overall stats on the ASF versus the AUX is just they're not. There's no comparison. The AUX ships are just a poor man's transport ship for amphibious invasions. But otherwise, we'll be addressing that here probably this episode actually. I have a feeling since I just checked this, we've got a few texts coming this month and next that'll probably at least a couple of these will be dropping off entirely, just because the next level on up will be a much higher. We'll take I think it'll be in 1940 or so, and that'll be too far in advance of my tech. So we'll be making some adjustments in how our research goes. Otherwise, we've changed some of our laws. A couple of our ministers here and there. Our science minister is now a research specialist at this point. Hoping later this year I will see the fruits of that change bear. Maybe I'll get a research facility or two and perhaps some other things. We will eventually change him probably next year to this aircraft carrier specialist because I need that kind of tech as well. Um, like I said, we did change some laws. We're now in heavy industry emphasis, so we get a little more extra IC and reduce the amount of consumer goods we need during wartime there. We also switched over to massive conscription from extended conscription because we were starting to drop our manpower quite a bit here. You can see we're using half a man a day, so that's about 15 manpower a month that's being utilized in this general purpose. Plus, just to reinforce right now, we need about another almost seven. So that's 22 manpower alone this month without any future combat to cause me to have more reinforcements required. So that's half my monthly gain right there, just to be spent on everyday usage and to immediately reinforce up to um, what is required now. We're still going to be engaging in combat operations going forward. While I don't expect that to be 7 a day manpower required, it's still going to be a bit of a drain on our total manpower. We're going to be engaging in some uh, builds here over the next a very extensive building project over the next couple of years here. I don't want to move to the emergency conscription just yet, just because of the negatives. It's about double, or in this case, of the daily descent change. It's over 5 times what I'm currently at. I don't want to switch over that just yet until we see a huge manpower drain, where I might be, say, a couple hundred, 300 manpower. Then I could see um, taking the negatives here, just so I can just about almost double the amount of manpower that I'll be gaining daily. Beyond that, we're doing overall very well. Our Western operations here in China is finished. We're beginning to move units southward towards Yunan here, and also moving down into this area. Aside from taking out this cauldron here, the next operational area will be to move along this river line from this area here eastward to meet up, and then cut out this cauldron. And then somehow I want to go ahead and move down to this next river line as well. So we can kind of keep moving southward through China. I when I do play my Japanese campaigns, I really do love the rivers in China because I like to use them as a marker, if you will, that this is the next area that I want to kind of move into and affect. For example, this river here, eventually once these regions all get joined together, we'll make a push towards the river, hopefully push and then cut off units. But nonetheless, we'll use the rivers as natural boundaries, but also markers of where the next operational area is going to be. With all that said, getting everybody up to speed here in this 21st episode, in 2021 for Hearts of Iron 3. I will go ahead and start her off. We'll see what we'll be shaking. We did have a couple of combats going on. This one's looking a little bit not all that great. I only have a couple of units that are attacking and assisting there, but I think we'll be killing them pretty soon here. We're also moving eastward with several units, and we'll be beginning to crush the forces south of this river here. Once that's done, we'll be continuing to move in from the east here westward, and then assisting with attacks across the river. We're also pushing northward up here. I see the Chinese they see what's happening and they want to stop that. The AI is pretty smart in that regards. It's able to detect these type of encirclements they may be trying, and will do what they can to spoil such a maneuver. We're doing our best to try to minimize that. They apparently weren't paying attention too much around here with what I was doing, because I'm seeing there's quite a few amount of units here. Granted, they have to cover every single territory that's adjacent to mine, but yeah, there's probably about a quarter million might be a bit much, but I would say there's definitely well over 100,000 troops. There could be a quarter million. There's actually several infantry divisions in here. If these are fuel trades, we do not need them. Quite honestly, as you can see, other than the metal that I stopped all the metal trades, we really don't need any trades at this point in time other than to sell things. We'll see if we can't sell any more energy, but last time I checked, which wasn't that long ago, there weren't many countries that had the money to be able to buy energy. So we'll just leave that alone. This is looking good here. I think we're at 47,000 supplies. So long as this doesn't dip down too much further, I think I'll leave where this is at alone. We'll make adjustments later as our IC goes back up. We do have a decision. We had that seaport research tech come in, so we'll go ahead and buy our new seaports. I think this does help improve our supply situation by a small tenth or 0.2 percentage point. Oh no, money and resources. Okay, so our money goes up by 0.2%. Just a couple pennies, no big deal. Resources 0.2%. That may actually help out our metal situation. Instead of losing 6.5, it might be 6.25, which will be just fine. We gain 2 light aircraft factories and 1 medium, which is good. Those are the types of planes that I'll slowly be building. We'll be probably building some transport ships for supply purposes, but also Japan, as historically happened, Japan gets an event where I'm able to get a paratroop unit. So I'll need a few transport planes to be able to utilize them. Okay, what are we? Yes, we're beginning to make that pivot that way. I've got a bunch of units that are going to sit behind because they're going to come down south here when they're able. These guys are kind of moving around. Okay. Excuse me. So Zibi-Sanma is actually now holding their country entirely. They've kicked out the nationalist Chinese. They did lose. I know they had. Yeah, I don't see them anymore. They had some headquarter units deep into enemy territory. Well, friendly territory at that time, but now it's enemy territory, and I'm pretty sure they lost them. That's okay though. They'll rebuild those shortly. I do see they've got a 5-star general there. Okay. So we're getting attacked along this area in Shantou. I do have a spare marine that can go to any of these provinces and help out. You see we got air power attacking as well. That's not going to go well. I don't really have the reinforcements to assist there. We can go here, and we will have him retreat. These infantry divisions are not as impressive as I was thinking. Granted, the one time I was using my infantry, this division here, they were attacking across a river at this province, being supported by Marines and this unit. Um, and I had to call off the attack. This one may not have actually ever fully regained its organization after that attack here, and that's maybe why it did so poorly. Um, but I may need some further reinforcements coming into the Fuzhou area to kind of bolster our defenses. The good news is once we kind of get this situation wrapped up here, we can begin to push out a little bit further. And the units I have up north here, once we begin to make our push to this river, we can start pulling them down southward as well and kind of expanding out somewhat, beginning to push towards this river as well. Uh, that'll be for another day. My Marines have all pretty much moved up to where they need to be. Yeah, we're taking them out here. Be very interested to see how many troops are all here by the time I get them captured. Batteries, oh cool. So we're at 40 even. Next research tech that I learned that either drops off or is 1940 or future tech beyond that that I need to cancel, then I'll be able to go ahead and start making my changes to the tech I wish to start going forward next. Submarine periscope advance, and I think that's it. Okay, so at this point now, I'm going to real quick double check it. There's a few areas I want to ensure that I'm maintaining my research on at the 1938 tech. That's in IC and leadership, so nation. Everything here is 38 tech. I don't consider any of these to be urgent tech, so I don't try researching tech that's a year in advance in this category. Industry, just got to make sure that everything is current tech here that I would like to utilize. Um, yeah, these are both 1940 techs. I'll learn them eventually. We won't worry about those. Secrets won't ever be learned because I don't. Japan does not have enough leadership to dabble in the secret category or the nuclear science technologies. Not for quite some time. Construction. It looks like I have everything being researched. While I don't consider these urgent techs, the infrastructure technologies, I just keep letting them ride over and over again because how long it takes them to be researched. I will never, well, I shouldn't say never, but I shouldn't ever really get to a point where one of these pops up and they're 2 years or more in the future in advance. They're just typically I'm researching either current year, like this one with airport capabilities, or it's just going to be a year in advance. And they do provide some excellent, as you can see, a lot to do with supply for the road and railroad. Seaport capabilities is really nice. That naval base efficiency does also help with supplies. Airport, we do have some reliance on air power. Plus, when we build upgrade our airport um, structure that we have, each rank upgrade for the airport does improve air organization as well. So that, for me, that filters into CAGs, carrier groups. I definitely want them to be as strong as possible. These are all 2 years in advance, and we're already researching these. These are my urgent techs because this is part of that superpower status. Same with these artillery techs. That's 2 years out. I'm not going to worry about that. CAG, I want to go ahead and research that for sure because we need to get, we need to learn that 1938 tech, but I need to begin to start getting ahead of where I need to be at. Submarines, let's just make sure. Coastal subs, that's 1 year in advance. I want to learn that. Torpedoes, this is all current year. I need to learn those. Okay, we're good. Escorts, we want to improve our destroyers. Motorboats, torpedo boats, I do want to because I do utilize, well, no, torpedo boats is what I'm thinking of. Torpedo boats, I want to to actually research. The motor torpedo boats, I had one and it got sunk by the Chinese. That's okay. I don't ever really use it. Again, current tech, current year tech, I want to make sure that I learn. So we'll be getting our escorts. They're good. Hydrophone will actually be researched fairly quickly. And on that note, let me push this up above coastal subs So that way it can get researched very rapidly. Transports, we need to get those levels because I need these 2 levels in order to get landing craft flotillas. And then with landing craft, then I'll be able to get an assault ship afterwards. Once I get some of that amphibious, I believe, let's see, amphibious invasion and ship defenses. Once I get these 2, both of these require landing craft flotillas. So these 2 get me this, which will get me these 2, and then will get me that, which that's the ultimate goal. I want to get assault ships learned before 1941, so I can start building them. Check our carrier tech. We want to make sure everything's 1939 tech or older is being researched. We're gonna go pretty deep in here. I like to see green up top here. That way I know there's some light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. But sometimes I'll go ahead and just start ordering the tech that I want to get researched and in the order they want it to get researched. So I'm feeling I'm going to get pretty deep in here. We're going to be seeing red for quite some time. Cruiser tech first, then we'll do capital ships afterwards. Current year tech is what I want. I have a bunch of cruiser tech that needs to be researched. Again, 1938 or older. Yeah, there we go, all red. Cruiser tech, yeah, that's pretty good. I should push that upwards as well, but I think I'll wait a little bit on that. And now capital ships, battle cruisers. Yep. We won't be building pocket battleships. That's something that I do as Germany. I definitely build pocket battleships because they're cheaper, take less time overall. They're not as good as battle cruisers or battleships, but they're a step up from heavy cruisers, for example. And pocket battleships will utilize the capital ship technologies for upgrades and things like that. So that's pretty handy to have. We have a bunch of capital ship tech that I've got to start going on here. Japan has several, not quite a dozen. I guess once the Musashi and Yamato come online, we'll have almost a dozen battleships and battle cruisers. So it does help to get those researched. Going through all these here, we want to do uh, float plane fighter focus, I think, for air attack. Or sea attack. Let me see this for light and heavy cruisers, battleship, battle cruiser. Um, the surface detection and shore bombardment. The surface detection aspect is pretty good for the ships, but the shore bombardment it really is not. I don't utilize the majority of my ships, only the coastal battleships, which is on that list, but I only really use the coastal battleships as shore bombardment. The rest of my fleet are too busy patrolling, hunting down the enemy fleet for them to really be useful in shore bombardment. It's actually very rare that I ever, that you'll see one of my battleships providing a bombardment on a province. Usually it's by accident because they're patrolling in that sea zone. So I think the sea attack's probably better. The air attack I could see as well. Um, I guess future will be America already has. I am willing to bet probably has more carriers at this point than I do. I could be wrong on that. They may just only have 4. Um, the air attack could be very handy in regards to helping knock down any enemy CAG units that are attacking them. But I think we kind of want sea attack just because we will be engaging in a lot of naval battles down the road here. So we'll just go ahead and start learning that. These layouts are the heavy gun layouts. The first number is 4 guns. The latter number is aft guns. The Japanese apparently historically, I'm not that much of a historian when it comes to Japan in World War II, but I have some passing casual knowledge. It looks like the Japanese used a 3x3 layout, 3 main guns on the fore and aft. I believe the way this works, you can see there's penalties on the reverse on the the layout, you get bonuses to sea attack and positioning. The way that I've seen this work is, and I'm not sure why it works this way per se, but you do want to eventually get maxed out in layout because you get a higher sea attack and positioning bonus overall. So each level of layout you learn, you also then need to learn the reverse of that. You get that penalty. Once you've learned that reverse, then you can learn the next level of layout, which again will have a little bit of a higher bonus than what the previous level of layout was. I want to say that's how it works. I could technically just leave this alone and not touch it here, but I think I want to kind of show that and keep going with what I do historically in my games is just learn the reverse, go to layout, reverse, layout, keep going back and forth until I've maxed out layout, and then I don't research reverse because I don't want that huge penalty. So I think that's what we're going to do here is just go with that for right now. So I've researched everything in naval forces. The next here we want to go into naval doctrines, and there are certainly some text here we need to get. This is not urgent tech, so we're looking for 1938 tech. Fleet auxiliary carry doctrine is the main doctrine the Japanese use. The rest, however, are also still very good to use. For example, under Fleet Auxiliary Submarine Doctrine, we will be using subs since we're a naval faring country. We'll be using subs, so Trade Introduction Submarine Doctrine, very handy to have. Well, it's 1939 tech, so we really can't learn that. At least not now. We'll wait till next year. Submarine crew training, though, it's 37 tech. We do want to learn that because it'll improve my subs organization and morale. Capital ship raiders, we do want to utilize, go ahead and get this one as well. As you can see, for battleships, battle cruisers, super heavy battleships, which we'll be getting as well, heavy cruisers. It improves visibility, convoy attack, lowers positioning. So yeah, a bit of a negative there, but nonetheless, that's really good to have. We have to follow the historical. Not to mention this is a really good tech to have anyway, but historically, the Japanese were just unparalleled when it came to their night combat. No one was as good as the Japanese in their overall training. The only reason the Americans did as well as they did in the mid and later parts of the war is radar was a huge help. Plus, they had better command and control overall than the Japanese did later on. And not to mention, of course, more ships. The Japanese, as their ships were getting sunken left and right, they were not able to replace those. But for the initial parts of the early parts of the war, their night attack was just unparalleled. We definitely want that for sure. And then for sea lane defense, there are some technologies in here they will certainly get. Because it will be very handy in the coming naval battles. Destroyer escort, positioning. We will be using torpedo boats and destroyers. We're going to be also providing convoy escorts and also just having convoys going all over the place. So we do need better positioning. The battle fleet concentration doctrine, again, this will help out because it'll give our battleships and super heavy battleships some additional positioning bonuses. Destroyer crew training, better organization and morale. We'll have tons of destroyers sailing the Pacific. We'll also have some torpedo boats as well, and raiders. So yeah, improved organization morale is very handy. Battleship crew training, again, improved organization morale for the aforementioned ships there. And that's it for here. Everything that's newer, or in the future, I should say, from 1937, we're going to wait on. Fire control system, actually, yes, I do want this too. That'll improve our target chance. Oh, and destroyer escort. How did I miss this? Destroyer escort specialization. Destroyer sub attack, yes. And escort efficiency, again, we're going to have tons of escorts, so we need that. We need that tech. So the amount of leadership that we have going into research right now, we need twice that. Yeah, it is what it is. We're up to 80% now, though, with our officer ratio, which is good, even with the combats I have going on, the operations overall. I think we're going to be seeing an improvement and increase in officer ratio. So as soon as I can hit 90%, I'm going to lower this down by at least half, if not 2/3, and then put that into research. That'll be down the road though. So with that explanation out of the way and a good chunk of our video taken up by that, we will press on. We're moving into here, so everything is looking pretty good there. Okay, Feng Tai, cool. Alrighty, so we are there. Yeah, we are pressing forward up into there. We're going to link up with our Shanghai unit here. That said, where are we going? We're going up to here. Are we able... I think I had started to attack here. In the last episode, perhaps, or the episode before, and that attack was not going very well, so I had to halt it. So before I lost all my organization, as such, we are able to support there. I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't just simply move over to here. But no, we'll just wait for him to come up here, and then we'll attack. And then I've got three. Let's see. Yeah, I've got 3 units moving into here. I'll attack with 2 into that province, support it with the 3rd that's waiting here, and supported by these 2 guys. That'll crack them, and then we can use our three spare units, leaving 1 on each province there. Move them all in and take out these guys. Okay. Division headquarters. That's 1938 tech. We'll keep that rolling. Reduces the delay by 3 hours. Good. I don't want to see another 100-hour delay again. We're beginning our move there. They're coming down and around. I'm waiting for these guys to get a little bit more reorganization because I want to move a good number of these guys down south. Nanping, they moved in there. We are attacking them. You know what? We're just going to call that off. This guy is too badly beat up. He needs to rest and reorg. We're just going to have to take our lumps here. Plus, they're getting attacked. We're just going to take our lumps here overall. And if we need to, we'll begin to pull back to Fuzhou proper to hold it better. I don't want to be losing too many men. Yeah, that immediately hurt them quite a bit there. And the reinforcements, these aren't reinforcements, they're just headquarter units. They only have a couple. Once they're fully staffed out, they're just going to have 250 men total. That's all. That will not be sufficient to handle what we need got going on here. Yeah, he's got too many provinces that he's adjacent to. Okay, they gave up the attack. It is what it is there. Let me save the game real quick. We've got a couple weeks here. I want to get into June here before I do call it an episode. We're looking pretty good here. Sadly, I really can't press out further from where I'm at here. And if we had a naval combat there, I could begin my attack on Nanning and hope to take it with a marine unit. However, we'd be attacking across river solely from the 2 provinces I'm adjacent to. And while there's just a couple garrison units that are there, I feel like I'd be kind of reaching further than I could afford to at this point. I need some reinforcements to come in here before I make that kind of push. How are we doing here? Good. So we had it looks like we've got a light cruiser in there. Don't know what was here. So the Chinese are making sorties. They do have a few ports remaining. However, we're working on consolidating in here. That'll be next episode. We'll finish that up, and that'll remove several ports. Looks like 2 ports here. Once we can link up these 2 here, that's another port, and that will just leave that 1 port here, Guangzhou. So then we can just kind of bring most of our fleets back home, let them rest. In the meantime, I have subs out here hunting down. We'll take a look at that real quick and see. Sonar. Okay, that dropped off. Good. Battle of Yunan. Oh, Yan, sorry. Yan is further north. Yan is right here. We're pressing south. Um, what I'm looking at doing here is moving down south into this province. I have more forces than what's showing here that are going to make that move. Um, I think we'll end up with about 6 divisions here in Yangtze, and then depending upon what defenses are arrayed against me in these 2 victory points, I do intend on attacking both at the same time, if possible. Um, if need be, I'll just concentrate on Dali first, and then come back to Kunming after that. But in any event, I want to get both these victory point locations at the same time if possible, or very close to each other, so we can just take the country of Yunan out of the equation here. Um, I was going to check something. I totally forget what I was going to check. That's all right, though. It may not have been important. Okay. These guys now need to begin to move a little bit further. He needs some reinforcements. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take these 2 guys. They're going to attack here, come up here, there. We're going to take these 2 guys. Oh, no, not those 2 guys. This guy, he's going to attack there, and he's going to be supported by that guy. That way, I can send my specialized light infantry down in here and kind of help save the day, as it were. I got 2 units there. That 30%. Those are some pretty strong Chinese units attacking me. Looks like they're attacking from here and getting support from that province. So we kind of want to put a kibosh to that. Actually, we need to move him. Correction, move him down there. The 10th Army is about to break. I don't have any further reinforcements that I can send that way. I will send that militia, though, all the way down. Well, we'll send him there. We'll send this militia here. That guy there, that guy there, and that guy there. Okay. This way we're just kind of shifting all down by 1, taking a matter of, say, 5 days, 3 to 5 days for each to move. Couple my, yeah, how quickly will he move over? So all these guys are moving the same rate. This guy actually is going to take the longest, 30. So that's good. All these guys will be at their arrived location in 3 days. This guy will thus get his reinforcement coming into this province, and then he'll be over here 2 days later. Yeah, I don't want to be losing losing too much here, because what they're trying to do, the Chinese are trying to do, is to get help to these guys here. Okay. Nanyang, that's been taken care of. Good. We're going to press up and start pushing up and take everything south of the river here pretty soon. Yeah, everybody that's here kind of needs to hold. I can't do anything just yet. I can, however, let's see how well we do coming in from the north here, and ditto with him, and we'll have the Jade Division assist attacking there. Let's see how those attacks go. We're pushing up northward up to this river from the south, and we're going to be pushing southward from the north here to the river, basically squeezing them. Once I have all this taken care of, again, we'll see how many units we've got there. Then I want to be able to utilize my troops and send a good number this way, because we want to attack in and follow this river, so we can kind of cut off some provinces here and begin to push southward overall. And I want to send other units. Probably I want to try to avoid attacking across the river as much as possible, but I'll probably send a bunch, crossing over this way into these provinces, cut off a couple here, meet up with Zibi Sanma, and begin to push south to this river as well. Feng Tai, Len Fen, So they're simply attacking me. That's no big deal. Yeah, I think that will be able. We'll hold off here. The guard unit is coming in. This attack will peter out rapidly. The 10th Army, can we retreat there? We shall. Guard unit will be here within the matter of now. So we've taken that province here. That being the case, we are going to now, I'm going to send 2 units into here, and then they're going to pivot. We're going to have him support, and we're going to have we'll have our specialized light infantry go in, attack there, and then there. I said there were 2 ports. There's actually 3 up here. So yeah, there's a lot of ports. Once I start taking out ports, then I can move my my subs out of the area, or even send them back home and save some fuel. Okay. Thus begins the consolidation of this area here. They're getting attacked there. I can't pull out there any further. Okay, major victory. We'll see what that is. There we got another streamer. I'm thinking at this point, I don't think that battle is going to go well enough, in my opinion. It may. We'll see what happens. I don't have any compunction of pulling these forces back to this province here, because the only way to get to Fuzhou is either from the north or the west, and that's it. So if I can, as long as I can hold this province, I'm fine. Because we went ahead and took that. The door's about to close on the Chinese. Yin Yang, this has been an ongoing battle. Moved in some reinforcements, and that's helping out matters greatly. The 10th Army is going to move over here as a reinforcement of sorts. They don't have enough organization, unfortunately, so they're probably going to not be doing too well there. But that's all right. And we're pushing up again. Good. We have some militia we can move into here. I don't need 3. I mean, granted, that's 19,000 militia units that I have in this province here, which is about the strength of one of my infantry units. But I can. We have any attacks across the river would hurt greatly. The only way it can be attacked is from here. Okay. Zhao. Just about reaching the end of the episode here, but I will go a little bit further. We're going to do that to our supplies overall. We're putting. Let's lower this down to 10 and leave it at that for right now. The amount we need in upgrades is probably largely because of my my fleets. I have a lot of ships that need upgrading, but I have a lot of upgrades that I need to filter throughout my troops as well. So we'll be doing that with 10 IC. It'll be very gradual. Once we finish war here in China proper, we're still going to be going to war next against Tibet, and then after that, Xinjiang, try to maintain our war status all the way through December 7th of 1941, so we can not have to spend any IC in consumer goods at all. But once we're done with war in China proper, I'll be able to put a little bit more IC into upgrades, and I think in 1939 or first, I think the first of 1940, I take all of my fleets and planes that need to get upgraded and put them into, and just do that. I just go ahead and upgrade them. It doesn't take that much IC, and it just takes a certain amount of time to go ahead and do that. Plus, since I'll be favoring the IJN, the naval build speed will increase. So actually, manually upgrading my fleets will make more sense. It'll be done quicker that way, rather than letting the AI handle it through that through this upgrades option here. I kind of wait a little bit because I want to see how this all goes here. That guy, he's doing okay. We don't need to worry about him. be moving into there soon enough. Vitro Veneto, a battleship. Cool. Wow, interesting. Okay. Oh, they moved into there. Do I have a spare unit? I mean, I've got an MP over here, military police that I could move into here to provide a little bit of assistance. But yeah, let's do that. I don't know how much help that's going to be. The 101st, though, is getting attacked by an armor unit, light armor unit, and a regular infantry unit. Okay. And this is going smoothly, splendidly. This now is looking a little bit better overall. I've got militia moving in there, however, so all right. We've got, well, this will end up being another IC hit, but it'll be a couple more divisions are coming in. 16% IC hit. We saw green briefly. This is how kind of Japan goes, and Germany to some extent before it goes to war in 39, where your IC will be just riding green for a bit, and then all of a sudden he'll go red because of all the historical divisions you got coming in. That's okay, though. We need these guys. Speaking of, where are they? He needs to go here. He doesn't have a leader. Bummer. We'll put a 4-star on him here. We'll use that guy. And he is closer to Tokyo. He has a leader. Cool. Those two, yay. I think I may send them to Fuzhou to help bolster what's going on here. These infantry units just are not. I mean, they're only five. They only have 5 regiments, 5 battalions, whatever. Whereas my line units, they have 7. So there is a bit of a strength issue overall there. Almost 4,000 men, 3,000 men difference. Well, he only has 16.7. Is that because of, yeah, difference between the pack artillery and regular artillery? So there is a bit of a manpower difference, but for whatever reason, these guys just don't seem to be hanging in battle all that well. Yeah, I'll wait for him to just entirely lose his organization. He's at least fighting and killing some troops, so I'll just let him sit there. Let me go a little bit further here, and then I will call it an episode. I do appreciate everybody watching this. I hope I'm not terribly boring anyone with my long-winded explanations on things. It's kind of, I like to prevent my, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, kind of a type deal. Oh, are we ready now? I think we are. So this province borders Tanzang, Linxia, Hezuzen, Pingwu, and Guangyan. Does it border Gyeong'an at all? No, it does not. So I can move every. Yeah, I wasn't able to. I mean, it looks like the line moves such a way that I'm only bordering here, but also looks like it could potentially border here. But that's why, fortunately, it tells you here what provinces actually border the province you're in. I was checking because I was needing to determine, do I need to leave a guy behind or can I move everybody in? And I can move everybody in. We'll do just that. After that here, we're going to move all but one light specialized infantry to go this way, and then that way. Oops. These guys, after they're done attacking, oh, are they moving that way too? Okay, hold on one second. We're moving there. Then these guys, minus this guy, is going to go here, and he's going to drop off a guy and go that way. Okay. These guys, after they're done attacking here, are going to go into the capital. We'll see what happens here. But then the next move after that will be to here. That way we're pushing towards this river here in conjunction with what's happening there. I would like to, Yeah, he actually can move in here because his province borders quite a few provinces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it doesn't border Baoji. So yeah, he can move in good order, as well as he crossing the river, but that's okay. He's taking his sweet time. We'll keep moving him down, and he will support the attack, even though that is across the river. Can he support the attack? Yes, he can, and he will do so. Alrighty, so we got some movement now going a little bit in this area as well. My western expansion, like I said, that's finished. I need to start moving southward to Yunan and begin to kind of create a wall here. There's not many Chinese units here, and we're not going to worry about killing them or anything like that. But I just want to create a wall here where these units cannot come eastward and help out, where they're all stuck where they're at. Okay, and let's see how this attack goes. That's a false negative 97 there. What is that going in? That's 95%, 79% actually, so that's good. Um, Xinjiang, they finally gave up. Chinese finally gave up attacking there. Oh, this is the one that's been going on for quite some time. Songshan, they tried to attack me here. That did not work. We're going to move up and attack that way once this is done. And so they're attacking here. Let's go ahead and begin the attack there. We'll have him support. There's a lot of units here in this victory point location, the city, but that's all right. Um, that's all right. We're looking okay. And this is the other battle I'm kind of worried about, but that's actually looking a little bit better now. Okay, cool. Need this to wrap up here so we can crush my enemy. Alrighty, we moved into there. Excellent. Fuzhou, they finished attacking me here. Assault concentration. 37 tech, we'll keep going with that. It'll be handy for what we're doing in China and future. Shangxian, we got to pay our army, $450. I believe that's the amount you got to pay is based on the total number of divisions you have. It's a range. If you have from X to Y amount, then you got to pay Z amount in money. Same goes with there'll be one for your Navy and Air Force as well. I don't think I ever see one for the Japanese because they have a very small Air Force. Okay, Wixian, fine. And we'll see, formation 27th and 104th. Remove a couple brigades. I wonder who's going to get removed there. Was it this guy? Okay, so he needs to attach himself to a leader. There's one nearby. We'll march him on down here. This guy looks like he lost a few units. I think this may have been a... Actually, I don't know. I don't know what he was. Yeah, he's much weaker than than before. And this guy, he needs to march over to Tokyo. That would have not affected any of my Marines. This didn't affect any of these guys. This battle's not looking all that great. To prevent any further losses, we're going to pull back to there. They're losing more than I did, but my organization is taking a huge hit. I don't like that. So with enough units here, hey, they're pushing in on Fuzhou, and that's fine. The reinforcements I get, I think I will go ahead and send to Fuzhou and kind of bolster it a little bit. I need to see, though, where else. How is that looking? Oh, that's fine. 37%. I move my MP there to help out. Is there anybody else? Mainly just military police that I have. That's it. I don't see any other locations where a bunch of, like a division just mysteriously disappeared. Cool. All right. Yep, kind of expected that because the Manchukuo, moved into that province there. They're just taking it back. I want to wait till this combat's over, and then I'll save and call it a game there. Airport capability is good. We stole some German blueprints. Resistance level. Um, I don't know why the AI goes and researches, especially the German AI researches resistance support because Germany doesn't get partisans, as far as I know. That maybe they do when they're attacking Russia with some event or decisions that they choose. That's possible, but I mean, Germany doesn't build or get partisans. So okay, yay, I got it. I don't think I get partisans either as Japan. That I may actually though once we start getting into India, possibly Burma, but I think India there's some partisans that will spring up due to a decision. Once I make sufficient gains in here, some Indians kind of like try to overthrow the English. So maybe I might get partisans. Yeah, but not a tech I would have researched. That's for sure. Um, is that unit is where he needs to be, so we're going to go ahead and board a boat and send him ASAP to Fuzhou. We need to address what's going on here. Even though we'd love to send him over here to take the place of a Marine unit, for right now, I don't want to be this is not looking all that great. It was quiet for a long time, and now it's just like, ugh. And this is not looking all that great either. Oof. I think one of these infantry units, once we're done attacking in Zioshan, uh, Linru. Okay, cool. Finally one there. That's what I was waiting for. That's 28%. That'll be much better. Um, because I'll be moving these armor units. The one that comes here is good, and then the other two will go into there. Um, I have this guy going there. Right. So there's 3 units here. That guy's going there. Why is that guy also going there? Ah, I lost a unit here. I had 2 divisions sitting here in this province. One was actually going to move into here, and this guy was supporting the attack. Okay, I understand now. He needs to stay where he's at. He needs to come in. So that makes things far more difficult. Far more difficult. Um, Correction, he's going to come up here and bolster the defenses in this province. I can't really afford to lose that. And realistically, let me send this military police in. They actually have an infantry battalion. I'll send them in to help out. And there's already a decent strength headquarter unit there. I'm going to send him in as well. We need to hold this province here. This is the only province that um, well, it's not the only province, but it helps. It's a linchpin between the north and the south area around this lake. I mean, I could lose it effectively, but then I can't drive up north and go here terribly easily. I'd have to go around the lake to do so. So this is an important province. That said, I'm going to go and save the game here. We've gone pretty far, just about a month in gameplay here. To recap, we're also doing pretty good. Our western expansion has finished, and we're now pushing southward and doing that very well. We got another battle going here that's going to get us to this river in good order. I expect to get to Yunan. We're already into summertime here, but I do expect to get to Yunan later this summer and hopefully take it out before fall comes on us. There's a lot of mountains between us and our eventual goal. 3 provinces, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're able to attack. But nonetheless, that will take quite a bit of time to to work our way through. This cauldron is slowly getting ground down. I'm very excited to see, interested to see how many troops are in here that we'll end up killing and or capturing. Um, Once that's done, then we're going to go ahead and move some of our troops over this way, so we can fight through the area that doesn't have river, and then we'll come along this river here and down like so, so we can have a new line moving southward into China. And also another group, another set of units, probably the majority that are here, we'll have them come down in here along this river, cut off a few provinces here, and a few units, push our way down and make this whole entire river line our next push southward. That'll help ease. We'll be able to utilize some spare units and push them in here as well to help ease some of the congestion and conflicts going on here. This cauldron I expect to have completed. Would have expected to have completed with the amount of units that I had originally um, in the summer. But now we just at this point we just have one infantry unit that's going to be kicking some guys back. He'll do what he can. Um, I'll try to just to push as much as we can. I do have some infantry units though that are coming here to Fuzhou, 3 that are ostensibly to help provide some support and around the Fuzhou lines, the exterior lines. Um, but since they're frontline units, I'll probably use them for here. And these guys, I'll just go ahead and move them up northward to help begin that detonation of the cauldron. This is very quiet. The Shantou region is just extremely quiet. They're not doing anything. My goal here is just to pull Chinese troops here, and it has worked. Um, my Marines in their final amphibious assault did well in conquering the island and moving up this peninsula. They're just waiting for reinforcements, which will come so they can push into Shaanxi. I appreciate you guys watching. Provide comments, questions down below, but I hope you have a great day. Take care.